All right. So you can take a seat either on a blanket or a pillow or on the ground or a chair. And we'll just start by closing your eyes if that feels okay to you. Otherwise, you could have a soft gaze on the floor. And have your palms face down on your thighs. We'll just start to notice your breath, not changing it or doing anything. Just inviting you into tuning in to how your breath is in this moment. And maybe just noticing the temperature of the room that you're in, any sounds, noises, and then really feel your feet heavy on whatever you're sitting on, and your spine sitting up as tall as it can be. And we'll just invite the skin and the muscles to drape over the bones, over your skeleton. So we just do a little parts check-in to get started. So if it feels useful, you could take a few deeper breaths. I'm just slowing down and going to start to notice what's here today. What parts are with you, taking up space inside? And you might know already, or you can just kind of do a gentle scan and see how your physical body is doing today. Are there any parts that are showing up physically as a sensation, a fluttering, tightening? And then maybe checking in emotionally. Are there any parts that are holding some feelings today? And if you notice anything, any parts, just acknowledge them. And then just checking in with the mind mentally. Are there any thinking parts or intellectual parts or parts that are occurring to you in the mind? And so we're just noticing who's here. And maybe see if you can identify the one or two parts that are taking up the most space inside. And see if you can gently invite them to either dial down their intensity or to take a half a step back from you so that you can get to know them. Just asking for a little space. And if they are unwilling, that's totally fine. We'll just invite them to be here with you. And if they could give you a little space, you can just ask them if there's anything that they need to tell you before we start moving the body. Anything that they need so that they can let you move through your practice, through this yoga practice. And you can invite them to take a seat nearby or go somewhere else if they want to go, or rest or do whatever they're doing. And you can just let them know that we're going to come back at the end and spend a little more time. But for right now, just see if they would be willing one more time to take a half step back, just to give a little bit more space. And we'll start to deepen your breath. If you can breathe in and out through your nose. Just long, slow, deep breaths in and out. If the nose is hard, you can breathe in and out through your mouth. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. Letting the breath be an anchor point to call you into more presence through your yoga practice. And just invite some curiosity about how this will go, how it will be to move with your parts a little bit more in the periphery, but still here. And then when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, and then we'll start by moving your neck. So you can take a breath in, and then drop your chin forward towards your chest, and then gently roll your head and your right ear towards your right shoulder. Take a breath in, and then exhale, bring your chin back to center and over to the other side. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your chin back to center. One more time, over to the right. Inhale. Exhale, chin to center and over to the left. Inhale. And exhale. Chin to center, and then lift your head. Let's take a few rotations of the shoulders. Inhale, lift your shoulders forward and up. Exhale, roll them back and down. Inhale up. Exhale back. One more time, inhale up. And exhale back. And then keep both of your sits bones on whatever you're sitting on. And maybe bring your right fingertips out to the side, and then inhale, reach your left arm up. And just take a side stretch, reaching up towards the sky and over to the side. Stay with your breath. And then inhale up, fingertips down and over to the other side. Deep breaths in and out. Inhale, come on up. And then we'll take a gentle twist. Inhale. And then bring your left hand to your right knee and just open your chest a little bit to the right. Every inhale, sit up a little taller. And every exhale, think about drawing the navel back towards your spine. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, right hand to left knee. Inhaling tall. Exhaling belly button to spine, maybe gently encouraging the left shoulder back behind you. One more breath. And exhale. Great. You're going to come forward onto your hands and knees. If you have a blanket or a towel or some kind of cushion, that might be nice if your knees are tender. And then spread your fingers, spread your palms wide, right underneath your shoulders. Your knees are going to be right under your hips. we'll inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your eyes, lower your belly. And then exhale, pull the navel back, press up through the back of your heart and tuck your tailbone. Inhale, drop the belly, tailbone up. Exhale, round the spine. So think about initiating this movement back and forth with your breath. Keep going. Initiating the movement from the tilt and the tuck of your hips. Take one more. Really let the neck drop all the way forward and then come to a flat back. We'll inhale, reach the right leg back behind you. You could keep your toes down on the ground, or you could lift the leg, a little more challenging. Toes pointing straight down. Take long, deep breaths. And maybe float the left arm forward. Feel the muscles in the back of your right leg that you're using to stay lifted. And the left arm, and then exhale, release. Take the other side, inhale. Reach your left leg back. Pull the navel into your spine and reach your right arm forward. Breathe. And think about just inviting more space for yourself in your experience, in with the breath. One more inhale. And then exhale. Release. All right, let's reach the right leg back behind you. And then you're going to spin that foot down so it's flat on the ground. You can bring your left foot behind you a little bit to make a kickstand, and then stack your left shoulder over your left wrist and reach your right arm up to the sky. Breathe. And you could look down towards the floor, or maybe you want to look up towards your right thumb. And then let's invite some creativity into the practice. So make some big circles, nice slow circles, like you're moving through honey with your right arm. And your arm could be straight or bent. Stay with your breath and feel what movements feel useful. And go the other direction if you haven't already. And then we'll reach back up towards the ceiling and exhale, come on down. Good, reach your left leg out behind you. Swivel that heel down to the ground, kickstand your right leg back behind you, and then inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. Find your breath. And then start to get creative and just explore the rotation of your left shoulder. Our parts communicate to us through our body sometimes. And so we're just using this practice to invite a little more interoception, which is inner body awareness. One more breath in, and then exhale, come down to hands and knees. Good, we're gonna tuck the toes. And then options here, you could walk the hands out in front of you into puppy pose, your forehead to the ground, hips stacked over your knees, or you can come into downward facing dog. Find your breath. So to come into downward facing dog, we just want to make sure that our palms are spread nice and wide, the arms are straight. The heels are making their way towards the ground. The tailbone is reaching up and back towards kind of the space where the ceiling meets the wall. Take a few more breaths in right there, holding, feeling the heat building. and then lower down to your knees. Good, we'll step the right foot forward, up by your right hand. So if you need to grab the foot and bring it there, that's totally fine. And then you have the option to keep the back knee down or to lift up high. So I'll do the knee down this time. We're going to inhale, lift your arms up. So the most important element of safety in this pose is to keep the right knee over the right ankle and not in front of it. And then think about zipping up from your pubic bone all the way to your belly button, those lower core abdominal muscles. Lift the back knee if you're feeling strong and confident or courageous. Find your breath. And if you fall, invite in some compassion. Inhale. And then exhale, bring both hands down to frame the front foot. Again, the back knee is either up or down. And do your best to keep the lower body steady, not moving it. And then inhale, take your right arm up to the sky. With your breath. And then lower the right hand down. We're going to spin the back foot. So if your knee is down, we're going to lift it up now. Spin the back heel down, coming into warrior two. So I like the alignment to be my heel from the front heel to the back heel. Some people like heel to arch, but the feet are pretty much perpendicular. And then inhale, lift your body, right arm forward, left arm back. Find your breath. Again, make sure that front knee is stacked right over the ankle. There's a tendency for it to dip in. And just notice if you could maybe soften your shoulders a little bit. Again, lifting up kind of the core, zipping up those abdominal muscles to create some strength and buoyancy. And feel the rootedness in your legs. And the lift in your upper body. And then let's take a breath in and bring your right forearm on top of your thigh. We're going to sweep the left arm either over your ear or right up to the sky. Your choice. And then again, this is a moment for some creative exploration. Take that top arm and move it all around. Nice and slow so you don't knock yourself over. Good, and then reach that arm up to the sky. And then we're gonna bring both hands down to the front of your mat. You're gonna step back this time to the top of a push-up. You could have the knees down or up. Lift the back of your head so your spine is nice and long. Find your breath. Good, then let's lower the knees down. You're gonna lower your chest all the way to the ground, nice and slow. Good. Reach your arms out in front of you, palms face each other. And then let's inhale, lift your arms and your legs. One more breath. Lower it all down. And then let's inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Bring your hands by your shoulders. Navel pulls up and in towards your spine. Come up, hands and knees, and back, downward facing dog. Okay, we're gonna take the second side. I'm gonna turn around, so I'll be facing you. Take your left foot and step it up to the front of your mat. The back knee can come down or up, your choice. If you're up, make sure that the back heel is stacked right over the ball of the foot. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Really rooting down in through your legs, and lifting up through your heart. Relax your shoulders while you move energy up through your fingertips. Take a breath in, and then exhale, bring both hands down to the front of your mat. You could be on your fingertips or have your palm on the ground. If you have a yoga block at home, you could also use that. We'll inhale, take your left arm up to the sky for a twist. Again, just inviting more presence into your body through your breath. Take one more inhale, and then release. Left hand down to the ground. Let's spin the back heel down, and inhale, come on up. Warrior two. Feel nice and heavy through your legs. Maybe give a little wiggle. Relax your shoulders, your fingers. Maybe a little smile. And just connecting to the body, connecting to your strength. Take one more breath in, and then release your left forearm on top of your left thigh. Reach your arm, either your right arm over your head or up to the ceiling to start. And then we'll start to move that arm through space. Just be curious in both directions. You could have the arm straight or bent. Great. Reach it back up towards the ceiling, and this time we're going to come all the way up to stand. We're going to straighten both legs. Yeah, feel the burn. All right, turn your left toes forward so you're facing the side of your mat. Both legs straight. Your feet should be about the width of your wrists, so right underneath where your wrists are. You're going to take a breath in, bring your hands to your hips, and then start to bow forward. Maybe you can touch the ground. Maybe you keep your hands on your hips. Deep breaths in and out through your nose. Really honoring where your edge is. Wherever you feel the stretch, just stop right there and take some breaths. There's no need to push deeper. That would probably be a part, certainly be a part. And yeah, this is where I first came to meet many of my parts on the yoga mat, the ones who wanted to go further or faster. Whatever you notice your experience is, or if there's any parts that are judging you, just gently ask them if they can soften back. They do pop up in the practice. That's part of the beauty of the practice. Inhale, lift your chest, and then come all the way up to stand. Great, we're gonna heel toe your feet together. And now we're gonna kind of draw it all in with some balance. So stand up nice and tall. You can have your big toes together just to start. Palms face forward. Mountain pose. And just for a moment, if it feels okay, you could close your eyes or just have a soft gaze. And just acknowledge yourself for showing up and doing this. Whatever managers got you to your mat, healthy ones or unhealthy ones, just appreciate the fact that you're doing something kind for yourself to build awareness and health. then gently open your eyes and focus your eyes on something in front of you in your space that's not moving. We're going to lift the right foot slowly off the ground. So really good to kind of zip up your center. Think about squeezing everything towards the midline. And then maybe you're going to open the knee and bring the foot to your ankle, your calf, or all the way to your upper inner thigh. And let your practice be an expression of how you are today. You could bring your hands to heart center. You could reach them up like branches. Take them to the side. You could try moving them around. Test yourself. And if you fall out of this pose, really just notice if there are any critical parts. And see if you can invite or send them some compassion, or just even I see you, inner critic. Good, draw that right knee forward, and we're gonna grab the shin, if you can stay in there. Woo. Just give it a hug, and then extend it out forward just for a moment, little challenge, and then release. Good, give a little wiggle. And then the second side, find your breath. And lift the left foot. Anywhere above or below the knee is fine. Just no sideways pressure on the knee joint. And then find your expression. Notice if you're holding your breath to any degree. And then draw that knee forward, give it a little squeeze. And then straighten your leg. And then release. So good. Okay, come to the front of your mat. We're gonna just come down into a squat. So if this is hard for you, we're not gonna be here long. Just making your way down. Maybe the heels pop up. Maybe they can come all the way to the ground. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath in. And then come to sitting. All right, we're gonna just do a tiny bit of core here. So you can lift your shins parallel to the floor. You could have your hands behind you. This is kind of the first step. You could lift the hands up, maybe straighten the legs. That's a lot. And the most important thing here is that your low back isn't rounding out, but that your heart can lift and your low back lifts up and in. We're gonna just take 3 dips. Really think about connecting to your body, connecting to your strength as you do this. Inhale halfway down, exhale up, even an inch. Inhale and up 2, 1 more, and up 3, good. And then bring your feet down. You're gonna roll down through your spine as slowly as you can, vertebrae by vertebrae. All the way onto your back. Great. So let's cross the right ankle over your left knee. And then you might want to just stay here, or you can lift the left foot, flex both of your ankles, and reach through your right hand, through your legs, grabbing behind your thigh, your left thigh, or all the way to your shin. Keep the feet flexed, maybe gently rock side to side. And you want the practice to feel like an act of compassion for the body, an act of courage for the body. Never an act of force or comparison. And these parts do pop up. And when they do, can we just notice them and welcome them and know that they're trailheads for our deeper healing. Take a breath in and release those legs, both feet down to the ground. Let's cross the left ankle over your right knee. And then reach through your legs, left hand through. grabbing behind the thigh or maybe all the way to the shin. Stay with your breath. And then we'll release and hug both knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side, a little low back massage. And then grab the outer edges of both of your feet or maybe your shins for a happy baby pose, letting your knees kind of fall towards your armpits. Rocking side to side. If there's any other last pose, if you're a yogi and you know some poses that you feel like you need, just take another minute to do that. Otherwise, we're gonna move into Shavasana. So options here are to take constructive rest, which means that your feet are on the floor and your knees are knocked in towards each other. If you have any kind of low back injury or issue, this might be a more comfortable place to land. Otherwise, you can extend your legs out. Maybe lift your upper back and slide your scapula, your shoulder blades a little bit more down the back to give your neck a little more space. And then we'll all just take in one more breath together. And exhale, release. Releasing all effort and letting the body just soften and integrate all the work that you just did for about a minute here, maybe two. And slowly start to deepen your breath. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Open and close your jaw. Take a breath in. If it feels good to take a nice morning stretch, reaching your arms over your head. And then bring your knees towards your chest. Make your way over to your side, either side. Just pausing there for a moment. And then come up to sitting. You can sit on whatever is comfortable again. And I'll invite you, if it feels good, to bring one hand to your heart, to your chest, and the other hand to your belly. Just noticing this supportive, affectionate touch. Letting your system know that you're showing up, that you're here. And then again, just checking in as we come to a close. And notice if there's any greater sense of calm or spaciousness. Just notice what it feels like to slow down, to have slowed down consciously. Making a mental note of this visceral, mental, emotional experience. And if there are parts that popped up in the practice, maybe just invite them to see you or feel you. And we'll do the same. We'll invite back the parts from the beginning of the practice, the parts that were with you as we started. Just notice that you're here too. Your self-energy, your center. And maybe just extending an invitation of presence, of connection to those parts. You could release the hands if that feels good into your lap. We'll just take a moment to listen inside and notice if there's any one or two parts that really is asking for your attention. See if you can just stay with that part. And ask it, what does it want you to know about the job it does for you, or about how it's feeling? Maybe see if there's anything that those parts need from you as we complete. And then let's send some validation. Let those parts know that it makes sense that they're there, what they're saying or feeling. Send them some gratitude for being so communicative to let you know that they're here. And just sending some compassion to the global experience, global within ourselves, and also global for people, all people, for the experience of being human, for the challenge that being complex and having this experience of multiplicity is, and also the gift that it is and can be as we learn to work with our systems skillfully. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale. One more time, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. The parts and self in me recognize and bow to the parts and self in you. Namaste.